you guys don't get to hear anymore. I heard that we're now live, so my apologies to. I've been talking for like 10 minutes, and I got to repeat all that stuff. You missed so much good info. I shared some secrets about the 001, about this Cobalt 8X, about what kind of effects I'm running through. And I guess we'll never know. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to I think this is actually the third intro I've done. We're having a little technical difficulties because we're exclusively streaming to YouTube today because we know it's better quality than Facebook. And we were having, I was doing the robot, the entire stream yesterday, glitching in and out. And I usually only do that after I've had about 3 tequila shots. So, yeah, we're going to be doing some really cool stuff today. We're going to go through the CRAFTsynth 2.0. I got it up here in front of me. Where's that? What transition here? Bam. And which, by the way, is probably the best $200 you could spend as far as synthesizers go. And it is mono, it's a one voice but 8 oscillator synthesizer. And boy, oh boy, does it sound gnarly. And it is, it's also tiny. This is it. For those of you who don't know what it is, we've been giving these away every day as part of the kind of a raffle or drawing for those of you who are in attendance. Stick around. We are going to announce that the winners later on in the show. So here's the schedule. We're going to design maybe 2 presets on this, eat up maybe half an hour to 45 minutes. And then we're not going to name those presets. We're actually going to play a little game later, and I'm sure you could guess what it might be. And we're going to give prizes for that. After the CRAFTsynth 2.0, we're going to bounce over to the 001 camera switch. Boom! We got 2 cameras. Hello. This is the 001, which is a poor man's 002. It's 2 voice, but it is basically everything else is in there, including the sequences. So it's got all the innards of a 002 minus 10 voices. So there's 2 voices. They pan left to right, or you can do dual, which is what I like to do. So I use it as just this gnarly lead machine. And yeah, it's got a real filter, and I'm going to be showing you just a couple of neat things about it. As far as digital wavetable and variety goes, be thankful Modal kept going because they made the CRAFTsynth, they made the Sculpt, they made the Argon, they made the Cobalt, and these all have a really wide palette of sounds. This is, I think, a much more kind of boutique and niche as far as your palette goes, because mistakenly I thought this was a wavetable synth. That's what I'm getting at here. It's actually got waveforms, but they're not wavetables. You cannot navigate them in that sense. But you can on this, and you can on the Argon, and then you can do live algorithmic calculations on the Cobalt, and as well as the Sculpt. The Sculpt probably shares a little bit more DNA with the Cobalt, I would say. So I think we're going to make one really weird one, and then we're going to make one really practical one. So let's go back to the app screen. I can't even remember if I mentioned this or not, but if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And thank you for joining us once again. Hit that bell notification if you want to see updates. I think we're putting out on average 3 or 4, maybe at least 1 or 2 videos a week, minus these streams. There's Modal Minute. There's going to be the Quick Dive. Those are a little bit longer tutorials, and then we're going to be doing something called the Breakdown, and that's a show I'll be doing that's going to be kind of dissecting productions and live jams, which I'll also be continuously doing. So a lot to look forward to. This is, it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, if you have technical questions about your new Cobalt or your new Argon or Craft or Sculpt or whatever, or any modal synth for that matter, or if you just need life advice, we do have Modal staff in the chat as well. I'm not monitoring live chat kind of requests for demonstrations. So if it's not a technical question, it's more like, dude, show us how to make a gnarly lead or a gnarly, can you do pads on this or that? Those kind of questions are going to get relayed to me, and I'll get the word and be happy to oblige. So, so that's going to be Craft, and then we're going to do a break after that, kind of an in between. It's going to be a quick dive episode. It's just 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to jump onto the 001, and then after that we'll play the game. All right. So, to be completely honest with you, I normally don't have the CRAFTsynth hooked up, but it is normally very easy to hook up because it has a 1/8" line out, which is like a small headphone, and it goes to the line in, the audio in on the Cobalt or the Argon, whatever's up in front of me. It's really handy, and it's, as you can tell, it sounds just as good, as anything plugged in via 1/4" jacks. I also like to take this moment to thank Prism Sound for making this, the D to A, probably the best it could possibly be. Absolutely incredible converters. I'm using an 8 in 8 out Titan, but they also have a 2 in version called the Lyra. Worth looking at if you're audio junkie, or want to get some more high-end conversion in your setup. So, what are the first things you reach for when you're making a preset? The answer is, it does not matter. Make it sound cool, make it sound fun. Sometimes I like to just, get it sounding good to my ears first. Essentially the choice of oscillator, choice of effects, and then from there start modulating. As you can see down here, this is where you can modulate stuff. These are kind of preordained things. So LFO 1 can affect something, LFO 2, and so on and so forth. This has a mod envelope. You can have notes. This is typically best for the filter because you can start getting some resonant harmonics going with the high res. Let's do a test of that while we're at it. That sounds like a really high-pitched fifth. Ooh, I don't know if it's actually following that. Nope, doesn't quite follow it exactly, but well, that's something worth noting, devs. I'm not sure if that was meant to be, but it's also something you could have modulating something like the wavetable itself. So it would be in a different place every time, depending on the octave you're in the note. I am looking for effects. I think we do have feedback going, don't we? Or do we? Or is that me? That might be me. Nope, that's definitely Craft. I thought it was something else. See, I'm just kind of getting familiar with this. I've played with this, made a couple of presets, but I have to kind of get reorientated here. Here we go. We got your, you can turn on sync for the LFOs. You got your rates, mod envelope, filter envelope. This would be amp envelope right here. So I'm going to put a little bit of release on it. Maybe I'll have a long kind of a stab. Yeah, I like making stingers. If you don't know what a stinger is, the way I think of it is like something you have in the beginning of a section or the end of a section, and it kind of marks a new section or kind of continues stuff. And usually they can sound really badass if you just have a really low C or whatever note you're working in. I think the mod envelope, I'm going to use that to modulate wavetable 2, and we're going to blend these. We got 50-50 mix right here. And you might recognize some of these. You know what it is? It's using the effects and sorry. It's using the effects inside the Cobalt. Ah, I forgot I kept that. I left it turned on. Okay, so you can't see this, but I'm going to show it because it's definitely worth it. Oops, that's not the screen you need. Right there. Audio in effects. It's right after you would turn up your audio input volume. You can choose whether or not it runs into the effects. And for this, I'm going to put off. Much cleaner signal. I don't have to worry about the delay. We can get it exactly how we want it. My brain is in stream mode, so sometimes it takes me a sec to figure that stuff out. Any suggestions? What kind of preset we're going to make? We're going to make a stinger. We're going to make which could also be converted into a pad if you literally just soften the attack. Or we could make a lead or some kind of just nonsensical weird thing with notes. I have an idea. I'm going to make LFO1 just kind of do its thing here with the cutoff. And I want to have it on free. You got to find that sweet spot that's where it's moving around, but it's not moving around fast enough to sound like it's just a free running LFO, but it's not moving around slow enough where you barely notice it. You have to have I call it the funk factor. From like the 70s movies and the what else would go good with this? Probably filter envelope, right? We also have one slot for velocity over here. I think for something funky, like what I'm doing, we're going to make it the depth of the filter envelope. Why don't we do that? The other option would be the depth of the mod envelope, which I'm going to have modulating the wavetable. I don't think I assigned. Oh, I did assign it already. I just hadn't. Yeah. But FEG depth. There we go. Let's see if ARP works on this. Yep, I'm doing ARP on the Cobalt 8X, and that's sending MIDI notes to the Craft. Maybe different shape. Nah, let's keep it smooth. Although we could do random like this too. But if it's random like that, it might be better off to have it synced, which would sound like so. Whoopsies. We have to sync this? Ah, we forgot where it was. There we go. Where'd 1/16 go? All right, hold on a second. That's weird. I don't remember that. That's basically 1/16. That makes sense though. Four notes per quarter note, so whatever. Okay, so as covered yesterday, when you have your filter cut off way down like this, your sustain is going to make quite a big difference from then forward, because that's going to be kind of limiting how much closer this envelope will end up approaching zero, or zero, zero being the point at which the cutoff is set. Okay, I think we want to make it a bit more open. We have this modulating what? Wavetable 2. Oh no, that's amp envelope. Whoops. There we go. Let's go back to the way it was with the ooh, that's fun. I'm liking that a lot. Oscillator mix LFO2. I got a better idea for the velocity. We're going to have velocity adjust the attack time. Actually, better yet, we're going to have it adjust the attack time of the mod envelope. MEG attack. Looks like the filter's not going to come into play much. Not yet, at least. Mod wheel could do the mixing if we didn't do it with LFO2. Are there any questions so far on CRAFTsynth 2? By all means, post up or any requests for demonstrations on certain things. It's got distort, by the way. It's the badass factor. Okay, so light touch goes like this. Annihilation alien patch? From the movie? increase, it's because oscillator mod's doing some FM, and this is modulating wavetable 1. Oh yeah, we'd be better off using the mod envelope, using the velocity to increase the oscillator mod. No, actually. No, I like the way that is. There's really not much of a difference, huh? Need something more drastic. Oh. I got my expression pedal over here too. And that is another thing. If you don't own an expression pedal, but you own a Cobalt or an Argon or a CRAFTsynth even, I'd say it's worth getting because, boy, you can get pretty expressive with these. Just a sec. Yeah, I'm trying to get the pedal in a comfortable spot. There we go. Expression pedal. Let's do that. Let's send that to wavetable 1. Woo! I think I got a better idea for oscillator mix. Instead of that, maybe we can do oscillator mod. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so I just found out, I think, with oscillator mod, what is it? That's very strange. We have, it's doubling when I go to up an octave. That's pretty slick. I did not intend that to happen, so cool, I guess. Let's add a little bit of chorus from that H9. Okay, let's save this one. Round 1. I'll explain later. And let's go to a new one. What do we have for time here? Oh, it's 12:48. We've got 45 minutes into the show already. I'll tell you what, how about we do a quick dive? So that's just like a 5-minute break or so, and then that's just going to give me time to set up over here for this 001. All right, let me cue that up. By all means, any questions so far, post up. I do have an eye on the live stream here, chat, actually, but just as a happy accident. There we go. Up to date. See, my producer / boss man gave me the link, and now I'm like struggling to find it. Perfect. That would be the link for the modal minute, or sorry, the well, that's not it either. I was about to link you to Nick Batt talking about the Cobalt 8. Oh well, no worries. Here we go. Modal Jam, Modal Minutes, and Quick Dive 2. Okay. Yep. Oops. Nope, that's not what I need. Yeah, close enough. There we go. Vision's right there. It's, oop. Hey, welcome to Quick Dive. In this episode, we're going to cover some of the modes of the Arpeggiator, and then I'll show you how to program your own custom arpeggiated sequence. Now, this is not a sequence like the sequencer, but it's rather much simpler and very straightforward. To be a little bit too complex for your tastes, but you still like the idea of having something automated, maybe some custom riffs created, then this is definitely for you. This is so straightforward. Anybody can learn it, but let's just start out with the basics here. Let's navigate over to the Arpeggiator menu. So if you see clock and audio and sequence, you've gone too far. Just navigate a few back and you'll see ARP right there. And your status, you'll want to have that turned on. Right. Next, we can just navigate over and you'll see the divisions right there. It's pretty self-explanatory. The direction. This is sort of as played mode, the forward 1 octave. Now, if you want that to repeat with a second octave, you just add in 1 more octave and make it 2 octave. And it can go up to 4 octaves. Back just means the opposite of whatever you played. Just means it's going down and up, or forward and backwards, rather. So it's kind of a combination of these first two. You got shuffle, moves them around in a very organized manner. And then random. Random is great if you like making organic stuff, or you just need something that's in a non-linear order. Then there's the note modes. No matter what order, it will always go by your final kind of set of choice notes. It'll just follow in that linear progression. Old school arpeggiators typically followed stuff like this, where it was more based on notes. Gates is pretty straightforward. You won't hear much of a difference if you have a lot of release dialed in. But so if you turn your release way down, then you'll notice the biggest difference when you're changing the gates setting. It's basically how long the notes are held for. You can swing stuff if you like. 15 or 16 is usually the sweet spot. Now, to make an arpeggiated pattern, the nice thing about this is you can add rests, and to make it, you simply press the ARP pattern button and then play your riff and then add in the rests, because you will be going in increments of whatever you've set, 8th notes or 16th notes. In this case, it's 16th notes. but it could be whatever increment you set it as. It's easiest to work with 1/8 and 16ths. So why don't we program the bass line from the Chemical Brothers Block Rockin' Beats. That's really straightforward and probably a good example. Let's turn this off for a minute. I'll just play it here. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, right? I'm going to turn off ARP just for now. It's a little bit easier because you don't hear that note repeated if you accidentally hold the note down long. And I'm going to press ARP right here, ARP pattern. And then I'm going to put my mouse over ARP rest. And with my left hand, I'm going to play the pattern. And then with my right hand, I'm basically just clicking in where the rests are. And that's it. Oh, we got to turn the ARP back on. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot an extra rest at the end. So anytime you hit ARP pattern, it will override whatever you just programmed. And also keep in mind that ARP patterns are not saved per preset. They're not even saved at all. Sequences are saved, you know, in this menu right here, but ARP patterns will not be. So the good thing about that is that or it's not really a big deal because they're so quick to program, as long as it's not an exceedingly long sequence. The idea is that it's something real quick and easy. So let's try that again. I'm going to click on ARP pattern, and I'm going to have my mouse hovering over ARP rest when I need it. There we go. And there it is. So if you're not a big fan of the app or just don't have the means of using it often, it's okay because per UI itself. All you're going to do is press and hold the ARP button while you play your notes. Anytime you want to add a rest, you're going to press that rest button right there while you're holding the ARP. When you're done playing your sequence or your riff, just simply let go of the ARP button and then turn on Arpeggiator. Right now I have it on, but I'm going to do short staccato notes, so it shouldn't be an issue getting a correct pattern. So let's try doing that Chemical Brothers bass line again. I'm going to hold ARP right here, and I'm going to add rests as needed. Okay. Yep, we're good. Another shortcut to keep in mind is you want to adjust the length of the notes. Simply hold patch and then adjust this knob right here, division. And it's a secondary function, so you can reduce the gate and have real short staccato notes, or you can just keep it near 100, which is what I usually do because it gives you the most amount of control, because you can always shorten it with release and decay. Hope you found this to be helpful. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's more of these kind of videos coming. Look forward to a lot more in 2021. And if you have specific videos that you'd like to see from Modal, covering any of the features of the Cobalt or the Argon series of synthesizers, by all means, post up in the comments and let us know what you have in mind. And we'll see you on the next video. Okay. Check. Yeah. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah. Okay, here we are. I am standing over the Modal 001. Just double checking that we're getting sound here. Hold on. Looks like it. One thing I really like about it is this is a ladder filter, by the way. So very creamy, very rich, and you can drive the heck out of it. That's with no drive. Obviously, it's going to have to get a little bit louder. So I figured I'd take you through some of these waveforms. Some of the timbres, textures that you hear are going to be very reminiscent of the argon and even some the craft that we were just playing with. So it's got a really nice screen and number pad over here, but oscillator 1 and 2, you select the wavetables up here, right? So I'm going to make the left side saw wave, but I'm going to turn down the oscillator. We can bring that in later. Let's just work with oscillator 2 right now. I'm going to turn the sub oscillators down if they're, in case they're up. Yeah, that one was up, but we're only working with oscillator 2 at the moment. I'm going to get the gain up so I can adjust volume a little better. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Oops, wrong one. There'd be something. There's saw wave. I'm going to try to vary it up so it sounds interesting at least. Oops. I like that one. I'm going to drive it a little bit. Give this thing some justice. It makes, as you can tell, the filter makes such a huge difference on the impact, the presence, the richness of the sound. And I'm just adding drive. I'm not even adjusting the cutoff here. And obviously it makes it louder. Another thing, before I go any further, why don't we make a mod routing? I know it's pretty tough to see on the screen. I apologize for that. Let's see if I could zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, that should let you see it a little bit better. We can go into the mod routing screen. Oops. Actually, it's going to be, pardon me, it's going to be in the menu for modulation itself. So that's here in menu 10. There we go. And we're going to be working with the y-axis first. And then we pick a destination. And you can actually pick oscillator wave forms, like, you know, to change them on the fly, which is pretty neat. That would be y-axis minus. And then over here we pick the amount of depth. Oh, does it have to go the other way, perhaps? Yeah, it does. So if the more you have it modulated, obviously the more wave forms it will be jumping along. But if you just do it a little bit, you can skip between two different waveforms and, you know, get a nice little thing going here. And perhaps amps for the other one for plus. Why don't we see what's available here? It's a lot of destinations. Oscillator 2 note. We can do oscillator 2 detune. Well, spread would be cool. That doesn't make a huge difference, but still. Release, decay. Oh, that's another one. AEG, that'll be amp envelope. That might actually work. We'd have to have it reduced though if we're doing that modulating, and we'd have to have sustain turned way down. Yeah, that kind of works. Let's get that a little bit more drastic. Whoops. So yeah, still tons of modulation parameters to be messed with on this, and it's really straightforward. It's not as much about the mod matrix like we know it with in the app or just with the pages. It's all on this screen right here. I'll zoom out a little here. Along with this over here, which is the major destinations labeled oscillator 1. So when I press oscillator 1, everything that modulates oscillator 1 is pretty much in here to select from, and it's like a on-off status kind of thing. So if we wanted to, we could have LFO1 modulating the pitch and the depth. Well, we'd probably have to turn off the arpeggiator for now. So I would go here to arpeggiator. Oh, went too far. There. And then I'd turn the status off. And go back to oscillator 1. And we're going to pick oscillator 1 on. Let's see. LFO1 depth is maxed. I think it's on single trigger right now. And MIDI sync is off. Oh, right. We don't have oscillator 1 turned up. Oop. Sorry. Yeah, there it goes. MIDI sync on. Whoopsies. Right, let's adjust it that way. A little bit less depth, eh? Find the note first. Oh, right. It's forgot it's bipolar, so it's going to be modulating it both down and up. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. But maybe the wave. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe a little bit quicker. There we go. And if you want, you can change the mode to poly and just play chords or fifths or something. And then here's mine. And maybe I'll show you one or a couple other presets that I made. Hey Christian, if you're on the stream, do we have winners announced yet for the t-shirts and the CRAFTsynth Get those ready. I'm probably going to be wrapping up this 001 section here momentarily. Unless anybody else has questions. Oh, there's one other thing. It's really neat about the voicing here, the spread. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Ooh, am I clipping here? There we go. Yeah, this stack and spread that makes a pretty big difference. Big difference with traditional waveforms specifically. Okay, cool. The winners are... Got the winners. Just gonna announce them. Okay, so you'll hear a big difference here now. Neato Frito. All right, I got to find something to put on while I transition the camera back here. So maybe I will play the Argon versus Cobalt jingle maybe one more time. That's it, though. Stand by. to cut it off there, guys. Some things have to be kept secret. Okay. The winners. I had the list. Okay, the winners of the T-shirts. The Solution Band. Congrats. Stefan Pisani and the Epic Redstoner. Congrats on winning a T-shirt. For the sweatshirt winners, Austin Lane and Sound Salsa. Oh, thanks for joining us. I liked your sound bank. And CRAFTsynth 2 winner, Wagyu. Congrats, guys. Be sure to email marketing@modalectronics.com with your size and your current shipping address. All right. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you something real neat here. So I have this keyboard stand that's, I think it's called an Omega, like a K&M Omega something or other. And when I upgraded to made it 3 tiers, it became, 2 pieces basically had to be taken off. There were 2 little slabs, and I've never known what to do with these slabs until yesterday. Right? Not bad, right? Zoom out a bit more. Oh, that's all it does. Well, I should probably adjust it ever so slightly. There we go. Heavy duty equipment is heavy duty for a reason. Okay. Yeah, pretty sweet. And regarding yesterday, if you were on the live stream yesterday, I had some issues with this. And what I had not realized is that the patch has to be programmed for something. This is the mod wheel. This is Y plus right here, which makes a ton of sense. It frees up your hands from having to do that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to build some patches that take advantage of that because that's just too cool. I'll probably have some built for tomorrow's stream. Anyways, let's let's go back to that CRAFTsynth patch. There we go. Turn my video portion back on. Oops. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. The game is name that patch. Come up with the name of the patch. Post up. Don't be shy. It could be as stupid or as clever or out there as you want it to. You will be judged on the context. No, you won't. We're gonna have Mike from support pick the winner here. He's gonna be the judge, rather. He's not gonna pick the winner. He's just gonna be the judge. He's gonna look at all of them. Post up the silliest or coolest name or whatever you think this patch should be. And if you win, I would hope you either own an Argon or a Cobalt. In fact, if you don't own either, I would recommend mentioning that right away. You can own one or the other. That's fine. Because the prize is going to be some exclusive presets for Modal. For either synth or both if you own them. I like that name, but Mike. Oh, that's clever. My producer is posting up the names in our little group chat, and then our judge is looking at the names. That way, there is no bias whatsoever. Oh, I really wish nailed that one. My boss is going to kill me. Does that not sound like a Chemical Brothers intro? Just annoying, but earwormish. Chemical Brothers are freaking gifted at that. I remember when I first heard Surrender, their album Surrender, and I heard the track, It Came From Africa. My friend and I were quoting that for about 2 years. Because we just thought it was hilarious. Who does that? I'm going to read some of these names off. These are great. Dubstep Farts, Mudstepper, Soron Pity, Hibernation Belly, Alien Monster, Touch My Growler. Oh, yeah, these are all the candidates. Touch My Growler, Growly, Toaster. We really should have had like screenshots of their YouTube profile like we're doing Academy Awards. That'd be great. Toaster, we named that. Anthem, Satan's Tripe, Grouchy Mood. I would probably have picked that. I personally would probably pick that in the winter in the morning because that's exactly what I am. And Mudstepper. And Mudstepper, of course. And apparently our judge has picked Mudstepper as the winner. So congratulations, who picked Mudstepper. That's a pretty darn accurate. Yeah, I have to give you that. It's pretty darn accurate, especially when you're stepping in, well, mud and crap. I should have started out with the British, theme. Getting a stream of instructions from my producers. Bear with me here. Ah. Why don't we play another preset from Cobalt at the same time? Shall we? I think I will turn the local on. That's the YouTube guy's username. Gotcha. Okay. QRDNK suggestion. Send us an email, marketing@modalelectronics.com. With Mudstepper and your YouTube username, and I'll get you some exclusive patches for. Oh, and post up whether you have Argon or Cobalt or Craft. Yeah. Oh, we got Argon up in the mix here today. I forgot. The app is being friendly to me. So, what I'm going to do is go into my MIDI I/O here and put Cobalt 8. Oh, that's not what I needed. I needed Argon 8X. I think it is. Oh, it's going to be extra. And, okay, then I'm going to add extra in here. There we go. unfortunately, in this route, they're all synced in their own tempo. So I guess we'll do 120 as the default. Okay, we got 120, 120. What do we got for CRAFTsynth? Okay, we're good. If there's any other questions left over, now's the time to ask. I think we're gonna wrap up here. We're feeding hot. We're feeding back. There we go. Maybe a little bit lower. Oh, that just lowered the microphone. Mike, we got any last minute questions? Christian, anybody? I don't even know how many people we got. Well, if you're still with us, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on MODALelectronics.com. There's a newsletter you could subscribe to and get the latest updates on what's going on with Modal. And check out Modal Minute if you're a new user. It's got a lot of great tips if you're a new user, or somebody wants to pick up a couple of tips here and there. And then we got a couple of quick dives. Look for more of those along with the breakdown and jam sessions. And thank you once again for joining us. I'm just going to jam out for another minute or so here, and then we're going to call it a day. You know how those people stay for the credits and don't leave the theater? Well, you get a little treat here.